Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. As we get into Deuteronomy chapter 22, we find that Moses is impressing on the people's minds the importance of not having a mixture, whether it's a mixture in connection to their land, a mixture in connection to their animals, or a mixture in connection to their clothing. He says, "You shall not sow your vineyard with two kinds of seed. You shall not plow with an ox and a donkey together. You shall not wear a material mixed of wool and linen together." And so they were to make a decision. Which were you going to use in your field? Are you going to plant a vineyard, or are you going to plant a different type of seed? When you're plowing, are you going to use an ox, or are you going to use a donkey? If you are going to if you're going to make your clothing, are you going to use wool, or are you going to use linen? You need to make a decision. And the Lord is impressing upon them the importance of not having this type of mixture. And as we reflect on these things, it's also true of us that we should not have a mixture. Not so much that the Lord is concerned these days with what our clothes are made out of, or what type of animals we use to work our land, or that sort of thing. But the Lord is very interested in whether or not we have a mixture in our minds. Whether we are partially for the Lord or partially for the world. Partially for Christ or partially for ourselves. Joshua dealt with this with the people of Israel in the very last chapter of the book of Joshua, when he challenges them there. He says in verse 14, "Now therefore fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and truth." Sincerity there has the idea of with oneness of mind. "And put away the gods which your fathers served beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. If it is disagreeable in your sight to serve the Lord, choose for yourselves today whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served, which were beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." So he's saying, choose this day who you will serve. Are you going to serve the gods of the Amorites? Are you going to serve those other gods? Or are you going to serve the Lord? But you got to make a choice. Just as they needed to make a choice on what they were going to plant in that field, or what they were going to plow with, which animal they were going to plow with, or what type of material they're going to use for their clothing, they also needed to decide which God they were going to serve. And they needed to stick to the God that they were going to serve, particularly in choosing the Lord. In Matthew chapter 6, in verse 24, it says, "No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth." And there he is talking about not getting caught up in being concerned about money. Later on, he'd say, "Seek first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." And his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. This idea is also found in James chapter 4, where you have a situation where there was a mixture within the church. The people were claiming to be followers of Christ, but at the same time, they were acting in a very worldly way. And this is what James tells them in James chapter 4, in verse 7. It says, "Submit therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded." Double-minded, that means they had their minds fixed on two different things. And here he's saying, you need to purify your heart. There's a mixture in your heart. You're double-minded, and you need to purify it. You need to bring it back into a single thing. Whenever, you have water, but you have it mixed with something else, if you want to purify the water, you get rid of that which is extra, and until you're just left with pure water. And the same thing is true with us. In our devotion to the Lord, it should not be mixed with a lot of other things, but it should be purified to where we are wholly seeking after the Lord and desiring his ways and walking after him. And so as we read our Old Testament reading in Deuteronomy, let's do some soul searching and see, is there a mixture in our hearts? Are we partially serving the Lord, but then at the same time trying to serve ourselves or trying to chase after the things of the world? Are we wholly devoted to the Lord? The Lord wants our whole heart. He wants us to be completely committed to Him and to follow Him with all of our heart. So let's think about these things today as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.